Greetings, my fellow hunters, and welcome again. As you can tell from the title below, we're going to be reviewing CardCaptor Sakura, an anime I thought I'd never have to go back to, but I felt like it could have been done better, so for that reason, I'm redoing it and re-editing it all, so it's better. So as I always say, my fellow hunters, let the hunt, unfortunately for this time, begin. Oh. The story of CardCaptor Sakura is really simple. Well, it's an early 90s anime, so of course it's simple. And that of a children's cartoon, but either way, it follows the adventures of Sakura, a young girl who found a magical book and opened it, because, that's what you do, you open a magical book, unleashing tarot cards upon the city she lives in, and basically now she has to go and find them all and basically seal them back up before they can cause havoc and destroy the entire world. Standard magical girl plot, but I don't really feel like it's really going into because it's so bug standard that I can't really think of anything beyond this. So it's really annoying that I have to review it because it just feels like there's no substance to this story. Yes, it could have been later on, but again, I just rewatched the first season just to refresh my memory, and I remembered why I didn't like it that much. It's just so bland, so forgettable, and it doesn't really have much spectacle to it. Yes, it does introduce the whole magical tarot card thing, but I think that's kind of a given in a lot of shows. It's going to be some magical MacGuffin to set our character upon, and it happens to be tarot cards. Because obviously it's cards this time. I guess they took a little bit of note from Yu-Gi-Oh! As the story is underwhelming, I feel like the animation is also underwhelming. As for the animation, what can I say really much about it? It's a bog-standard 90s anime where it has a few peaks, but it's more troughs than peaks. So it's difficult for basically to comment on it. Yes, it has a brevity when it comes to certain things as there's no overlong transformation, but having said that, they reuse the same animation for attacks or sealing away the cloak cards. But I'll give it this, the different cards do land different animations, so it doesn't seem dull for what card's going to appear. Therefore, it's not so dull, and it does keep interesting on which monster is going to be which. But again, having said that, it's bog standard, there's nothing special about it, and it's just so bland that I think I fell asleep at one time just rewatching this damn thing. Next up is the music. Music for this series is just average, if that's a charitable way of me saying it. In the sense that it doesn't really stick to you very often. Well, that's a lie. True, the show's music doesn't stick to me very well, but it doesn't count for the opening, which somehow manages to make me sweetingly sick. It's so sweet that it gives me an ice cream headache every time I watch it, thinking, how can this thing be so cutesy that it actually makes me sick? Which is a very rare feat because I have a high tolerance to sweets. But this series somehow manages to reach my threshold. The opening and ending are exactly the same, and that fact that the ending is, like I said, sweet as all hell, kinda gives me a headache too. And really, it's not really that impressive. It's just a shot of the mascot, Garo, just running along in a moving background. It really doesn't show animation or anything, and it's just so bland that... What was I talking about? I don't know. Anyway, I believe we have the characters next. Oh, God. This one's going to be fun, isn't it? CardCaptor Sakura has many characters, and unfortunately none of them I like. But for the sake of brevity and for my own sanity, whatever left of it after Yarnum, I'm going to be just talking about the main three characters. Sakura, Tomoya, and her friend, little thing, Karo. I don't know. But anyway, Sakura. To begin with, as I said, Sakura. The bane in this show. She is oh so sickeningly sweet. She's so cheery, it makes me get ice cream headaches constantly. She really doesn't have any adversity. Yeah, at the beginning she was hesitant that she didn't want to be a card captor, but she really warmed up to the situation pretty quickly, I believe. Maybe 3-4 episodes in, she started taking the job seriously. That's kind of quick if you ask me. You'd think that... it'll be a bit more paced out. And there's no philosophy behind it. There's no, is it right to capture these creatures where they want to be set free? It's just mainly bing, bang, boom, they're escaped, recapture them, and then just seal them up again. And sure, she uses them as attacks, but that's just basically enslavement in my opinion. I really can't say much about her. There's not much character to discuss about it. Sure, she has a tragedy with her mother that she died young, but that's sometimes brought up, but it's not really a character-defining moment. Maybe if she died by the hands of a card captor or something, it would have made more interesting. But frankly, she's just a bland little girl with bland little personality traits with a bland little story, and doesn't help that her friend, Tomoyo, is exactly the same thing. As I said, Tomoyo is as sweet as Sakura, and again, it gives me toothaches. Her only shtick is that she follows Sakura around, recording everything that she does in some obsessive way of archiving of everything she does, despite the fact that it could put her at risk. And many times in this series, she does put herself at risk, and she's almost injured or almost injured. Maybe, yeah, I get it. Archiving it, but is it really worth archiving it for your life is in danger? I don't know. I would try to explain more, but that's it. That's her personality. She's a tag-along with Sakura. So me wasting my time for this minute is just basically wasting your time for this minute. Oh god. And finally we have the little mascot of the series. And as I said, the mascot of the series, Karu, Teru, Meru, whatever his name is the mascot of the series and the obligatory little cute mascot thing that's supposed to guide the main protagonist and to do her duty. But somehow it feels even less this time. Basically, he's supposed to be the mentor/advisor to how things are done, but because of certain events of the book's opening up and all the cards scattering, he basically lost all his powers and is reduced to a flying cat-mouse thing that I cannot describe. I'll leave a picture up here just to show you, because I can't describe it at all. And his only defining feature that I can think of is that he likes eating sweets. He's obsessed with sweets. He likes eating sweets and 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 sweets. That's it. He just likes eating sweets, the occasional mentor and expositional dialogue. Outside of that, he's bland, like every other character in this series. He does have a highlight moment when Sakura and him have a bit of an argument, but it's resolved pretty quickly, and it really doesn't go anywhere. Never brought up and never mentioned again. So basically, there was an opportunity to have some conflicting views, but they missed it completely. Why am I not surprised? Need I go on? I could talk about the immigrant Chinese kid that came from China to Japan in order to get all the cloak cards from Sakura, as well as she bullies her, so that's a really great character, and he's cold-hearted, but he's also bland. He has no personality quirks, and basically forgettable because I've forgotten his name, and I'm not even going to bother looking it up because not worth my time. What else can I say about the characters? They're there, but they don't really leave an impact. It's just so frustrating when I have problems like this. So, in the end, is CardCaptor Sakura worth watching? If you haven't been paying attention, you must have skipped ahead, but the answer will be no. Unless you have nostalgia for this series, I highly recommend you don't watch it, because there are so many other series that you could be watching. Watch The Miraculous Adventures of Ladybug. That's got a better protagonist, and I did enjoy it. It's worth watching with your family or your little nieces or daughters because it's entertaining. It has characters. It has struggles. This series doesn't have any of that. Heck, I would even recommend go for Sailor Moon. That's even older, but somehow even better characters. But that's just the opinion of one hunter. Why don't you comment down below and let me know if I'm a grumpy old hunter that just doesn't love sweet things, or basically I just hate everything. Anyway, my fellow hunters, thank you for watching this. Like, comment, subscribe. I always appreciate it. And basically follow me on my Twitter and Discord down below as usual. And as I always say, my hunters, may the good blood guide your way, because after this, I have diabetes.